Meanwhile, another European leader visiting the continent is German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Mrs. Merkel will visit Senegal and will also make stops in Ghana and Nigeria to boost trade with Africa. In a recent video address, she says African countries could be a good market down the line, as other countries are already very active. Prior to this renewed interest by EU leaders, China, France, and the United States have been the dominant financial forces in Africa. 5 Kenyan soldiers have been killed in the coastal county of Lamu after the vehicle they were traveling in hit an improvised explosive device. In a statement, the army says the 5 were part of a group of 10 soldiers on a humanitarian assignment to distribute water along the Kiangu-Sankuri Road. Similar attacks are not uncommon in this part of Kenya, as an active cell linked to the Islamic State group Al-Shabaab operates there. Al-Shabaab fighters have carried out several attacks in Kenya, retaliating the country's military action in Somalia, where it is part of the African Union force fighting the militant group. Kenya's Deputy Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu has been arrested on alleged corruption, failure to pay tax, and improper dealings with a local bank. Chief Public Prosecutor Nordine Mohammed Haji told a news conference that she had abused her office for personal gain, undermining public integrity. She was arraigned in court but released upon the execution of a personal bond of 5 million Kenyan shillings. The government has launched a new anti-graft push this year, led by Haji, a former deputy head of national intelligence, who has brought criminal charges against dozens of civilian servants and business people.
One of the most important.
This afternoon, I informed the Chief Justice David Maraga of my decision to grant consent for the arrest and prosecution of the Deputy Chief Justice, Lady Justice Philomena Mwilu, on criminal charges. This decision has not been taken lightly, but it is the right decision under the law. Most of us in the Office of the Public Prosecutor are indeed officers of the court, and the dignity and independence of the judiciary is dear to us. I believe that judges in a democracy such as ours must be totally free to exercise their judgment in a societal environment that supports and protects them. Indeed, the precepts and principles of the Constitution must be our guide at all times.
A prosecutor of the International Criminal Court is calling on judges to convict a former Congo military leader on charges ranging from murder and rape to enlisting child soldiers and sexual slavery. Prosecutor Fatou Bensouda says evidence presented of rebel leader Bosco Ntaganda proves his guilt on all 18 charges he faces for his alleged role in deadly attacks in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Mrs. Bensouda told judges the case would prove a landmark in that it recognized sexual enslavement of soldiers as a separate crime within the court. However, no date has yet been set for the verdict.
Children under the age of 15. Today, we stand before this chamber to submit that the evidence has proven, beyond all reasonable doubt, that Bosco Ntaganda is indeed guilty of the crimes charged against him. The evidence proves that Bosco Ntaganda personally committed crimes. He persecuted and attacked civilians. He murdered them, pillaged their goods, destroyed their churches and hospitals. He enlisted and used children under the age of 15 to participate directly in hostilities. Bosco Ntaganda and his co-perpetrators not only terrorized the civilian population, they terrorized their own troops. They forced the children in their army to kill. They treated them cruelly. They raped and sexually enslaved them.
Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni is blaming people he described as big-headed citizens for the country's failure to improve its agriculture yields. He says that they are the reason why the adoption rate of modern agriculture practices is very low, making it difficult to earn incomes from their small pieces of land. He also says his country is one of the richest countries in the world, blessed with numerous natural resources which cannot be exhausted within the shortest period of time, adding that the future of the country is in industrialization. He made the remarks at the opening of a cement factory in the eastern Tororo district. Still to come on the program, the United Nations urges DR Congo to press ahead with preparations for credible elections. Please stay with us.